people who own the lobbyists that are paying these politicians to not give you anything. They own hip hop. They own the music. So if we're going through all this police brutality, police murders and everything like that, racism and what have you, then why would we accept the hip hop industry from these same people who was doing this to us? What is so good about the hip hop music industry that we are taking from them that, we should have? Why would we expect them to give us something so great? We have the BET Awards and all these hip hop awards and all this, everything that's surrounding hip hop that is given to us. Why? And we're accepting it like it's good. Why would they give us that if it's so good and not give us the money to, keep our schools open? Raise the minimum wage, do something about police brutality and police killings, but they will give you hip hop. All that money behind hip hop, millions of dollars to make one album, thousands and thousands to make a music video for your enjoyment because they love you so much. Think about that. They take everything good away from us. We really got to understand why they let us keep hip hop, why they give it to us. And the reason why is because it's not good for us. So just sit back and ask yourself this question. How did the black community get so bad? What happened? We blame the government. We blame white America. We blame the racists. How did the black community get so bad? Point to me and point out the white people who came into the black community, who came into the hood, the projects, and made it what it is. Point them out. I'm talking about physically went in there and did, what we see in the projects and in the black community. Where are these people who physically walked in there and did that? You can't point them out. You can't find them. It was us. And then a lot of people can't look in the mirror and realize that it was us. We did it. So, we point our finger at so many different things and we need to look in the mirror and look at ourselves. But the thing is, you were programmed to do it. It's just that simple. So yeah, you can point your finger at, the so-called white man, the people who own these hip hop organizations and the government and everything like that. You can point the finger at them, but you got to understand they controlled you and got you to do their dirty work for them using hip hop. They don't have to step foot in the ghettos. They can affect us via remote control. So when you turn on your TV, when you put those headphones in and listen to that music, you are carrying their message of destruction and you're acting it out in your own community. And a lot of people don't want to realize that and accept that they can be actually controlled by the music. But then how are we losing if that's not the case? How is everything so bad if that's not the case? Give me an alternative answer, because I'm going to tell you this. When you look around and look at the people who's been shooting and killing each other, ain't nobody put that gun in their hand. Ain't nobody put that pack in his pocket and tell him to stand on the corner and sell it. People go out and hustle. People do things to get shot or to shoot people. And that's us who's doing that. You need to understand that it's deeper than that. And then people want to look at poverty and say, well, poverty is the case. And it's a bunch of poor people all over the world, everywhere. And the violence level is just not the same. It's not there. You got people who just try to do something to get by. They build little communities and help each other. When I was in Thailand, you got poor people everywhere. They won't allow you to be poor. The community won't allow you. If they found out that somebody was poor, the people come and give them food. Now, you go into Bangkok and the inner cities where, it's a little bit worse. You got crime. But out in the villages where I was at, it's not that way. If you're in a village and you're hungry, they will bring you food. The communities stick together. It's not like that with us because we have the music that we're following. And so many people be poor and they're so stuck on the message of hip hop that they try to play it off like they not. So you don't really got that much money, but you're trying to be a baller. What is that? And a lot of people buy things that they can't afford. $200 sneakers, $250 sneakers for what? You're not even sure if you can pay your rent. Your bill's not up to date, but you're buying $250 sneakers. So, this is the message that's attached to this whole culture that's affecting us. And you got to understand that it's nobody walking into the communities doing that. We are doing this ourselves. They are controlling us. They have been controlling us. And it is us who has destroyed the black community because we failed to heed the message of people like, C. Dolores Tucker and a lot of other people who spoke out about the dangers of hip hop music and the effects that it would have on the people. It's a lot of people who lost children who tried to speak out. I mean, You're not going to get that message from the news media. They're not going to tell you that. And then people are going to call me crazy because they have this, fantasy of being some kind of major hip hop or entertainment celebrity. So they're not going to want to hear my message. People like listening to certain music, so they're not going to want to accept what I'm saying. They're going to try to find flaws, holes. Oh, it's not the music, it's the people. It's the same argument you can have. Well, it's not the gun that killed people, it's the person who got the gun. But what's wrong with that person who got the gun? Why did he pick up that gun? What was the reason behind that? It's deeper to it, and you got to look and just not call people stupid. Look deeper into the whole thing. Anybody who does that will see that it all comes back to the music and the people behind the music, and it's not us. It's not black people. Hip hop can save us just as well as it destroyed us, that it is destroying us. Hip hop can really change everything around. But the people who you look up to in hip hop have been bought off. And they are under people who definitely not going to allow that to happen. So the people who you look to get the right message from are the people who are deceiving you. As I said, they sold you out. They sold you out for money. They don't really care. If your kid got shot by some person who, was influenced by music, they don't really care about that. They care about that check. They're going to tell you how much they love you, how much they appreciate your support, and thanks for coming out and buying the tickets or what have you. But at the end of the day, they're going to go back to a mansion. You're going to go back to work in the hood, that you are scared of walking down the street at certain times. You're scared of going into certain neighborhoods and everything like that. You have issues or people who you love with drug problems and what have you. And you are fueling and aiding the very people that is behind, your pain and fears. And, that's just the case. And a lot of people really understand what I'm talking about, but don't want to let it sink in, for, a bunch of reasons. But, again, hip hop is something that, I came up with and I grew to love. And just, when you in the studio putting together music, it's a beautiful thing. When you walk in the studio and you have nothing and, you put together the beat, and then you put together and it comes together and it's just like, that moment, it's like fun. It just feels like, damn, this can't be wrong. It feels so right. I'm with my people. We having a good time. We just made this nice banger, beautiful song, and we accept that emotion and that feeling, and we don't realize that the music we put out is just so negative, because this is what the industry wants. The song you put out is based upon things that you heard from other rappers, the things that you think will sell. So since all the rappers who big and blowing up and who doing big things is rapping about killing and murdering and girls and all this and that, you think that's what you have to do to appeal to the masses. So you can't be nobody and walk out, try to pull out a banger about unity, going to college and investing your money and becoming, an entrepreneur, a smart businessman. A lot of people not really going to pay attention to that. You got to, bring the persona. You got to bring the culture and put it in your music and get people to listen to what you think they want you to make. And again, the labels are not going to push anything positive because that's not what they want. So we listen to the music that we have today, and it's horrible. We all know it. It's disgusting. It's sick. It's stupid. And they're dumbing us down little by little by little. I mean, just look at it. Look at it. This music is whack. So you have the real lyricists on the bottom, not really doing too much. And now we have these mumble mouth, whack weirdos out here with all kind of just stupid dribble music, and people just going crazy over it. And I'm like, what is wrong with people? And, I never once asked myself that question, am I getting old? Because I'm not stupid. There's so many people who feel the same exact way. But then, you just have people who really, just like the music, and I'm just trying to figure out, why. And it's because it's popular. That's what it is. If a lot of these songs you put out and you gave to people who never heard it before, never heard of the artist is not famous, not on TV, nobody knows who it is, and you give it to most people, they're going to say it's corny. But as soon as you put somebody on TV and make them famous and you put out that corny music, everybody's going to jump on it because the person is famous. And it's just so horrible. So, we don't have, too many good lyricists out there anymore, and too many people that's, it's nobody really saying stuff that's important to black people to really uplift black people. And if they do, it might be a couple bars or one song. just to hide the fact, of what they really doing. But for the most part, we don't have that full positive artist that's coming at every single other artist about what they doing to the Black community. It don't exist. Not mainstream. So this is what we faced with. This is what we stuck with. And you got to understand it's just not going to change, overnight. It's not going to change until people start, standing up and saying, yo, I don't want this shit no more. It's horrible. I'm not paying no money. I don't want to listen to it. It's corny, and leave it alone and just stop jumping on these people job because they're famous. I mean, speak up, tell the truth about what it is. It's horrible. Anytime somebody jump in front of a crowd of, thousands of people that talk about killing their own people, the majority of these people in these hip hop concerts are white, and they right front stage. Look at the pictures. And you up there talking about killing your own people in front of them, and they go back home with that. When all of their adrenaline goes down, and they're not hyped no more, and they're in their personal life, that sticks with these white folks. And they understand that, damn, this dude's up here talking about killing, and this is what y'all promote. So, they use that argument against us all the time. They don't care about each other. Y'all talking about killing each other all the time. Y'all glorify it. So then we got to deal with that. And, when something racial comes up, and then people just stuck like, it's nothing you can say because they right. Now, I just finished up a whole series on Satan and what that really entails, and why we see the celebrities and people in the entertainment industry flashing that whole, satanic, the devil horns and everything like that, and what all that stuff really means and what it goes back into. We got into that, but we're going to talk about it a little bit briefly here, because you got to understand what that really entails. Again, when people say that a hip hop star or, somebody in the entertainment business sold their soul for fame and fortune, we talked about the reptilian brain, the lower brain, which would be considered the reptilian brain or Satan. And the thing is, Satan represents materialism, plain and simple, and represents the materialistic world, the lower brain. So when you sell your soul to Satan, you're selling your soul to the material brain, the lower self, your lower self. And this is what, the hip hop industry represents. This is why it's all about cars, flashing money and chains and watches and gold and girls, materialistic things. This is what they sold out to, the lower brain, the lower self. So, when they say, well, you sold your soul to the devil, this is what it means. This is the metaphor. And I got into that in the video. We're going to get into that a lot more in this series so people can understand, and it's really about the balance of the two, the higher brain, the third eye, the prefrontal cortex, which leads to the third eye, higher brain, lower brain, the reptilian brain, bringing them together and, becoming one. This is something that when you see the third eye, and when you see people just flash so many so-called, satanic stuff, this is what they're referring to. They're referring to the understanding of this knowledge and the fact that they did sell out for the materialistic world and for materialism. Basically what they're saying. And it's a lot of things people got to really understand when it comes to the industry. Again, if you're a person that's supposed to be a Christian and you're looking into this industry and you keep running into Satan and it's, making you run back, it's stuff that you really need to understand as far as the Bible and all that, because you're going to be confused. So again, this is something that I seen when I was in the industry, and you have devil parties, bullshit you not. And you have stuff that's seems so real and satanic that a lot of people get caught up in it. They don't understand how to deal with it. So I got a lot of questions from people who I used to work with who was, entering into the business, who would send me emails and, they hit me up about this stuff and, what I know. And I try to convey to them that it's not really something that you really want to do. Even if you do get to that point where you can blow up, it's not really worth it. It's just not worth it. There's other ways for you to get money. And to a lot of people who don't have really nothing else, they have no shot, no choice. It's the only opportunity that they got, they're going to go forward. People who have been put down as a child and told that they can't do this and told they can't do that, who went through a lot, they're going to gravitate more to the fame and the success of it. Not going to care about anything else. People want their transformation. They want to say, I told you so. They want to shit on people, count their money and throw it in people's face and, have all that. So it's not really geared towards a person that has morals, that's trying to do something good with their life, that has a moral ground there, especially in religion. It's not for you. So you really got to understand what you're getting into. So many artists out there, so many people out there that's falling for this trap, especially black folks that's falling for this trap. If you're out there trying to pursue music and you're forgetting everything else, then you are not creating generational wealth. You're living by the culture that tells you that, the black woman is a hoe and you need to sleep with, a bunch of girls and kill people and all this and that. So you're not establishing the foundation that is, really, really needed to create generational wealth. It's a must-have. So you have to have that family first. You got to have that stable mom and dad that is successful to begin generational wealth. And you have a whole bunch of generations of black people, African Americans, who have not succeeded in doing that. So many single families, so many single parents, so many fathers in prison. And this is what this hip-hop entertainment culture has created, and it's all by design. And if you don't understand that now, then you obviously don't want to, because it's clear as day, what's taking place. It's all linked and tied into together. Hip hop and the whole prison industrial complex, this whole thing with the police shootings, and it's just so much that's tied into breaking up the black family and breaking up the role of the black man in the house and the role that he has with the black woman. And it's this industry, hip hop, puts a separation between us. But it's rare these days to see people who live in that culture to actually, be successful, coming from, the bottom to the level of a Jay-Z or Beyonce. It's just not that many people. So a lot of people don't understand it's like hitting a lottery for you to go from poverty and living in the hood to being a Jay-Z or being a Kanye West or Beyonce or Rihanna. It's slim to nil. So you have a better shot at being a doctor, being a scientist, astronomer, astrophysicist, or what have you. Somebody that works in engineering, electronics, somebody that has a nice corporate career, or a business owner, owning your own company. You have a better shot in doing that, and still making really good money and still having what you want. You have a better shot in doing that than becoming the next big superstar. So that is something that you should pursue more than, putting all your time and energy and money into something that is likely not going to happen. And you got so many people that think they know, what it takes. So I got skills, I'm good, I'm going to make it because of my talent and this and that. A lot of people who are arrogant to how the industry works. It has nothing to do with your talent. It's a lot more to it that we're going to get into with this series. And if you don't understand that, if you don't understand the trap of it, then you're going to fall victim to it. And a lot of people don't care. They feel like, when people talk against it, it's like with religion. You're talking against my hopes and dreams. So a lot of people don't want to hear the message of, get away from hip hop. So you got to understand, these people who you're looking up to, who you think is great, and these famous entertainers and celebrities that you think is awesome, and you praise and you worship more than you worship your God. These people are sellouts to me. And I always say that. They're sellouts. They sold you out for money. They don't care what these people are doing to you and what the music is doing to you. They don't care what the people who own their labels is doing to you and what these private prisons are doing to the black men. They don't care about the separation of the black family and the black child and what is going to happen to that black child because his father is not in the house. What's going to happen to that black child because his mother's not in the house. What's going to happen to that young black woman who is seeing all this stuff on TV that's telling her to do something unspeakable with her body, to be a whore, son, to be a gangster, to kill people, drug dealers, hurt your people. They don't care about that. They don't care what it's doing to the brain, the consciousness of a young black person, because they only care about the money. And we know that. They only care about the money. Buy the album, buy tickets to my show, shut the fuck up. I don't care about nothing else. It's crazy because people actually still don't get that. People don't get that. And as much as we've been marching and people protesting and the whole Black Lives Matter and everything that's going on, again, it's a joke for us to do this stuff when we glorify music that's talking about killing each other. And they understand that. It's no excuse that any rapper can give you to justify what they're doing and speaking about and glorifying the destruction, the death, the murder, the killing, the poverty of the black community, and not putting in no uplifting music, no uplifting tunes or songs that's going to help you come out of poverty. It's going to enrage you and fuel you and get a lot more people to pursue the entertainment career that is going to destroy them. It's just that simple. So these people don't care. They sold you out. You need to understand that. And yeah, we're going to talk about this. We're going to get into this a lot more in the next video. Again, thanks to everybody who donated. I'm going to be promoting and pumping the GoFundMe page to try to get to that mark, of course, because it's really serious. There's a lot of things that is good in this whole business plan for my website that's going to help Black people. I talked about before about houses. A lot of stuff in it. I don't really want to get it out on camera and talk about it on camera because I think it's good, and I really don't want to put the idea out on social media. But it's a lot of good things in there. It's a lot of things that I put in there to help people. And if I get this off the ground, you know, it's going to be a good thing for us. So again, thanks to those who donated and everybody who's supporting buying the DVDs and trying to get to that mark. It's a really big deal, you know, to do this. It's really good for us to get this out the way. So thanks to everybody who donated. I'll see you guys next video. Thanks for watching.